Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Techtique Thursdays for the month of February. So I have a really cool vintage Techtique for this month. I was at my local thrift store looking for some more vintage tech. It's usually where I like to go find some really cool YouTube worthy videos in Goodwills. But that's a whole other topic. This is a Microsoft IntelliMouse. It's actually designed for Windows 95 or NT. I couldn't even believe this when I seen it. It was only $3, so I had to pick it up. I just wanted it for some decor, I like to call it, in my office. But you can see, if anyone's ever found these computer mice that's this old in a thrift store, you'll know these usually yellow because of the type of plastic they are made from. Much like the Super Nintendo, not the Super Nintendo, the regular Nintendo Entertainment Systems, they were really bad for yellowing. These would do the exact same thing. But you can see it's completely white, which is very shocking considering for how old this thing is. And it's in the original box, what appears to be original shrink wrap. So yeah, I had to pick this up, and instantly, once I got it home, got thinking about Techtique Thursday for this month. So we're going to go over this, and we're actually going to even open it. Okay, so a little bit of history on this computer mouse and Microsoft IntelliMouse in particular. The very first Microsoft released mouse was in 1983. They didn't actually invent it. They just popularized it and just made it more known. But the actual first IntelliMouse that had that name, that trademark, was in 1996, and it was one of the very first mass-marketed and produced computer mice that had the scroll wheel. I did not know that myself, because even if you look on the box, it's really pushing easy scrolling, fast zooming. Even on the back it says scroll easy, because before 1996, most of the time they would just click and drag on your scroll bar, which if you're watching this video on desktop, like in Chrome or something now, you'll have that over here on the side of your computer screen. So this really made that easier for zooming and all that. And just made it one-handed, fast, intuitive, and get everything done a lot faster. So yeah, that's just a little bit of history on it. And now we're going to do something that, in a way, hurts me, and it might some other viewers that's really into collecting. But I'm always kind of cautious when buying new sealed stuff like this in thrift stores anyway, to make sure nothing is inside of it. So we are actually going to open this mouse for the first time. Hasn't ever been opened to my knowledge since 1996. It's going to get some 2026 air inside the box today. And we are going to still be careful because we do want to keep this in the box. Have here the Gerber Armbar Mini. We done a video on that a little while back if you guys want to watch that. And here we go. Never been opened. Fresh boxed. 1996 Microsoft IntelliMouse. Look at that. The box actually isn't even in that bad a condition. It's just barely, can't even tell by the camera angle, but it was just barely smashed in. So there's the plastic off. Fresh box. Look at that box work. I love these old boxes. It's amazing how they really paid attention. And something that I'm now going to be looking out for is, if you look down here in the bottom, that says the Microsoft Natural Keyboard Elite. That keyboard was actually at this same thrift store that I purchased this at, but I passed up on that one. It was like $8. But I'm going to go back sometime, and I'm going to see if they still have that. And I'm probably going to go ahead and pick it up as well, because those are really hard to find from what I'm finding. And they also had the unique trackball right here. You can see it was a trackball. They had this in the IntelliMouse Pro. I don't really know what the differences was, other than a few color changes, it looks like. It says new level of comfort. So maybe a little bit of change on the design. 3-year warranty or a 30-day money-back guarantee. Yeah, I'm sure Microsoft would still value that. And it is made in Mexico. That's kind of shocking. Not made in China. Okay, so we're now going to open this mouse. Yeah, this definitely hasn't been opened. The box isn't even, most of the time you can really pay attention to these flaps. When they'll open these, if most people just carelessly open this, they'll fling this back and that'll put a crease in this in the reverse direction that it was folded. So I really don't think this has ever been opened. Okay, have a tray style, and we're gonna pull it out. Okay, there is that part of the box, and it appears we have something else inside of here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's definitely old. Who knows what this is? If you guys know what that is, I'm going to have you put a comment down in the comment section. And we're going to reveal the answer in 10 seconds. So this is a floppy disk. Some people know what these are. This was basically a very, 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 very early age USB flash drive slash CD disk, basically. And before they had USB flash drives like we much use and carry today, you would take one of these. You'd usually have a floppy disk reader that was almost like a monitorizer. Your monitor would sit on top of that, and you would pop this in. So this is actually, I'm guessing, the drivers. I believe, I might remember, yeah, right there it's 3.5. It says that now. I did not know that was even in the box. But I'm assuming this has the drivers on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a floppy disk reader like most other people probably don't. But I am going to keep that packaged. That's really cool. Here we have the manual, which is very 90s. Microsoft. Logo hasn't actually changed much. Microsoft, I like that when a company keeps their same logo. And visit our website at microsoft.com/hardware. This is really cool. Yep, and there you can get an adapter to connect the mouse. I do know they actually make an adapter that goes from this PS2 port to a USB. I might actually purchase one of those. You can get them on Amazon for around $10 US. So then you can actually use this on a modern computer. So yeah, install IntelliPoint. So yeah, that's what this is for. This has IntelliPoint on there. So that would do drivers. And much like SetPoint, very similar in name actually, on Logitech, that's how you program their Wave series of computer keyboards that could program macro keys and everything else. So that's what that is. And just mouse, wheel, change the number of lines that you scroll. That would all be done on the actual IntelliPoint software. Technical support. Here's something really cool. Text telephone support. On text telephone support, text telephone is available for the deaf or hard of hearing. In the United States, use a TTY/TTD modem, dial 425-635-4948. So that would actually, that's the way you would text, because before this, you know, we didn't have texting back then. So that's how they would do that, is through a modem. And I'm assuming that would be much like dial-up back then. So yeah, I actually just looked up, just to be sure, what the TTY/TTD standard is. And that stands for Text Telephone Telecommunications Device for the deaf, is what that is. So it is pretty much dial-up. You dial a phone number, and you could text/email going over your phone line that would be using dial-up, and you would just put in that number, plug it into your modem, and everything else. Very cool that is how you would contact for support for them. And we have all their hours, how much it costs in Canadian dollars to get it replaced. Oh, and then we have a Microsoft registration card. One of these days, I'm probably going to take one of these and I'm just going to mail it in Microsoft just to give them a good laugh. Won't do it on this one. Oh, right there. There's the Elite keyboard again. Looks a lot like a Logitech Wave. It's really cool. Don't forget, mail it. I don't even know if that P.O. box is the same. P.O. Box 7932, San Francisco, California. That may go to Microsoft and that may not. We do not know. So there's that. And now we have the actual mouse itself. Let's see. Yep, that is... Oh, it comes with the adapter. Another little surprise. Wow, they gave you everything to get this running. Something really cool about computer manufacturers back in. They really wanted you to have an easy experience. Nowadays, we would go to a website and try to just type the URL in just to get a driver download, unless Windows automatically finds it. So we can see here, we have some slight discoloration on the cable. Not surprised, this thing is very, very old, 1996 era. But you can see we do have just slight discoloration on the cord, not the mouse. And there it is. Wow, that looks even better out of that plastic. Look at that. Brand new. So now the scroll wheel. Wow, that is a very sensitive mouse click button in that scroll wheel. I think that's even more sensitive than a modern mouse. And we have our left click, right click, scroll wheel click. We do not have left to right, just down. And then we have the scroll. It's actually kind of hard to scroll when you're not clicking on that. You can get used to that though. And on the bottom, we just have some specs on this, such as the serial number, 5 volts, 20 milliamps. So yeah, made in Mexico. That is really shocking. And it does have Phillips screws in it if you need to take it apart. But here's something that's really cool about these old computer mice that I'm going to compare to a new one. Okay, this is a modern, just cheap, monster, wired, ergonomic mouse with LED. Is what they actually call this mouse. But you can see on your modern computer mice, we just have a light sensor. These can be laser, infrared, LED, many different versions. This one in particular, I believe, is just regular LED. What this does, this shines down on your desk surface, watches for the movement across the surface on the LED when it reflects back, and then that will move your page. On this mouse, it's not like that. On these older mice for computers, you always had this little trackball mechanism, which does give it a very nice glide, smooth feel. But what this is just a rubber ball bearing, so you would have to use this for a while. And then if your desk was dusty, you got dirt on there, anything, you'd have to take this out, which you simply put 2 fingers here, rotate, and there is the little ball bearing, which is just rubber. As you can see, very heavy, has a rubber coating on the outside, and that just sets in here and has little rollers we can see in the inside here. And if we look where the ball actually sets inside the computer mouse, we have these little rollers over here, little stick on this side, in the bottom, and that is it, just on those 2 sides. So those would communicate with each other. When they detected that there was a movement going in this direction, it would then detect that after this ball moved and then moved a roller, it would send that data through this connection, go into IntelliPoint, the software on the floppy drive, and then move your computer mouse. Very cool how those worked. And like I said, you would have to clean these every now and then because they would get dust in them. So that's just another cool way that computer mice was different back then compared to nowadays. And we do have some little hard plastic stickers, much like a Logitech gaming mouse, that helps this glide better on the surface. So very cool. So yeah, that is the unboxing. Sadly, I don't have a computer that I could plug this into right now. Soon, I'm going to probably get a adapter that'll go from this PS2 connection to a USB, and we're actually going to plug this in and watch it work. So yeah, that is the Microsoft IntelliMouse from 1996. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Just helps the algorithm. And I'm going to have a link down in the description to our Technology Tinkerer link tree, where we have our recommended products and all that stuff you can purchase. Amazon affiliate links are in there. And I'm also going to have a link to the Tech Tinkers HQ Reddit page. In there we do, sometimes we'll put a picture of when we're doing an upcoming video. We'll give tips and tricks, advice to everyone, and just tinker around with everyone and help everyone get more problems resolved with their vintage tech and stuff. So yeah, sharing any cool projects, feel free to go over there and make a post. It's free. All you have to do is have a Reddit account, and then you can join our Reddit community. So yeah, with all that said, I'm the Technology Tinkerer. I hope you have a blessed day, and happy tinkering on your favorite projects, everyone. See you in the next video.